What's up, people of the world? It's your girl Lala.
And your boy Siobhan.
And you are listening to
Talk That Shit.
With the Melvins.
Hey, see, I was trying to do the two, because I want to look at you. I can't look at you.
Why do you need to look at the camera, though? Why can't you look at me and talk to me? I'm waiting.
You and I'm waiting for a very long time.
Yeah, I bet.
Because, well, anyway, Happy New Year's.
Whatever. It's an extended 2024.
No, why you have to make your face look like that? Like Scrooge McGruff, whatever.
I don't know. Who you talking about?
The thing from DuckTales.
Scrooge?
That's how you was just now.
So I look like a duck.
Just no, when you just made that face. Make that face and look at the camera.
I don't know what face I made.
That's what you made.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I guess we're gonna jump right on into the question that I had. Now you can't stop looking at the damn that.
So what? What is the problem? Am I supposed to look at the camera? Why do I need to look at the camera?
I want to look at you in your face.
Melvin, get on with the question.
Here we go. The question is, if I could open up my phone.
I know it's about to be stupid. Go ahead.
No, it's not a stupid question. No, it's not. You always making me feel stupid for asking these questions.
I don't make you feel stupid. You said it's not stupid, so if
it's not stupid.
Okay.
As I was walking home, not walking home, walking to the car and driving home, you've been talking to me a lot about being blessed and just things. Just what the hell? Why are you making that face?
I don't. Go ahead.
And just how we live in a fucked up world. We live in a really bad world. And one thing that I've always said to you is how blessed I am to have you in my life for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, my question on this topic is, my phone keeps closing. What are the steps of gratitude in our life that you push in our relationship and family?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So like I said, I think I was listening to like the Breakfast Club and something they was talking about. The problem with the world right now is there is no gratitude towards anybody outside of you. And the fact that everybody just feels entitled to a certain degree that nobody thinks every day. Everybody takes everything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long period in our relationship, I always took everything for granted, like you was gonna always be there. But I'm highly I'm gonna cut that shit out. But I have a lot of gratitude towards you and my family because of all the things we've been through. But I wanted to know.
So had we not been through those things, would you still have gratitude or no?
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the fact that what are some things that you push between me and you and the family to always remember that you have to have gratitude towards life in general? Is my question fucked up? My question, Mark, this was my question. Do you think that we have a lack of gratitude in the world? And do you think people aren't grateful for anything in the world anymore? Like growing up in the 80s and the 90s, I felt like everybody was always like, they had grace for a lot of things. But now we live in a world where a lot of people don't have that. They just feel a lot more entitled to a lot of things in life.
I don't.
Because I feel like that's something that's even going on with us. You know, like we have family and we have friends and stuff, but everybody always seems like they have authority or they have some type of like what's the word I'm looking for? not authority, but they have some type of like say in anything that we do or anything that we say or how we choose to raise our boys or how we just do it. And I'm not just saying just in general, I'm just saying just all around. And that's always been something that we've always had problems in our space about that. So, what are some things that you always have to remember or even always have to put in the forefront of always being like I need to show grace or I need to be have gratitude
Say that
toward
word again.
for which one?
That one.
Forefront.
What are you saying?
In the front. In the fucking front. Forefront.
Why
That's
are
not a
you
word.
putting TH on the end?
I felt like it had a TH. Forefront.
Bro, if you don't know the word, just don't say it.
Well, first of all, I thought I knew the word.
If
So-
you knew, if you
so
thought,
like-
if you really thought you knew the word,
I did.
If you really thought you knew the word, you wouldn't have paused before you said it.
No, I wasn't saying it correctly. I knew the word.
No,
I
it's not
put-
forefront.
I put the TH.
There's no TH on that word.
Okay, so
So you didn't know the word.
TD Jakes did, okay? Forefront.
I'm weak.
Walk thoughts. Win thoughts.
I can't.
But yeah, like
Okay, so what is I feel like there's like multiple questions here.
shit, you answer it however you want.
I just don't. I need to know what. Okay.
First question is, how do you live your everyday life with gratitude?
I think. Oh, can you turn me down a little bit? I feel like I'm loud a little. That's okay. No, go up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Leave it. How do I live my everyday life with gratitude?
Right.
I'm not gonna say I start every single day, but I try to be consistent in thanking God every morning for the fact that I'm awake and that I'm alive and that
Mhm.
I'm breathing and that you're alive and breathing and that the kids are alive and breathing. And then maybe like in moments where maybe I feel like I'm ready to complain about something.
Mhm.
I kind of check myself. I've found myself doing that a lot more
What? Oh, go ahead.
in the last year maybe.
Why? Are we not supposed to complain?
I just don't see a point in complaining when I have everything that I need in life. Because a lot of times complaints come from wants and not needs, desires and not necessities.
Mm.
And
Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
No, I was saying you really think that that's all the time? Because you can
I
complain.
said a lot of time.
Don't you think that's based on the person?
I said a lot of time. I didn't say all the time.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got the popcorn
No,
kernel in my
that's
damn
fine.
tooth. It's bothering me.
Because it's like you can complain about things that actually matter, but it's also a
Is there
complaint.
a such thing as complaining about things that matter?
Yeah, like fucking shit not being in order in the city of Philadelphia, in the city of Las Vegas. So
Well,
you
I don't know what that means.
Perfect example. You pay your bill. You pay your water bill, and they turn your water off. You gonna complain about that shit because guess what? Y'all shit should be in order
I
for
don't think
you.
that's a complaint. I think that's a concern.
So there's a fine line between concern.
I'm not
and,
saying fine line. I'm gonna say there's a difference between a complaint and a concern.
so a complaint.
My concern is that I've paid my bill and somehow my water is turned off.
Right.
A complaint is, oh my God, why are they charging me so much for water? And it's like, well, I mean, your usage is your problem.
Really? But what if it's not your problem? What if the usage isn't
Listen,
your problem?
I don't have shit to do with that. That's all. I'm just giving you the example of the difference between the two.
Okay, go ahead. You get feisty.
And then what did I say? Checking myself when complaining.
Mhm.
I think I mean, yeah, taking moments to kind of just look around,
Mhm.
um, whether it's inside of our home or certain people in my life, um, and just kind of appreciating those things.
Right.
Those for me are moments of gratitude. Um, God's grace, I think about that a lot. Like, I'm not perfect, although I tend to try to like I try my best to be as good of a person as I can.
Mhm.
Again, not perfect. And everybody has their moments, but um I still think about the fact that God's grace is really what saves all of us
Right.
from those moments of being less than what we know we're capable of.
Right.
Um
So do you think that you can give somebody too much grace, or you can give
I okay, go ahead. Or you can give
or
what?
or you can give situations or scenarios too much grace? Because we're getting down to my actual
um
the last. Yeah, go ahead.
Only because we're not God,
Right.
right? Like we don't walk like God and talk like God and move like God and maneuver like our Lord and Savior. So
But go ahead. Go ahead.
so in our human form, absolutely there's moments when I feel like I've given too much grace.
Really?
Absolutely. And then there's also moments where I'll say those things to myself like that. And that's why I laughed because there's moments where I've caught myself being like, man, fuck all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but then I have to step back and be like, but God's given me grace time and time again. So I try to put myself more, I try to move more the way God would appreciate me moving as
I-
opposed to how my human form wants to move.
right.
um uh
The question was, do we give people too much grace because we always think that God has given us grace for certain stuff? I was trying to word it the right way, but
oh,
I
I don't I
I
go ahead. No, you
I
go.
feel like in our relationship and our family as being the Melvins, we as a family give too much grace to the point where people just think that they can do, say, and believe in anything to affect us.
Okay. But here's the flip side of that. They can. Because I can't dictate and or force or make or decide or choose how someone moves, thinks, feels, etc. perspectives. I don't have no control over that. And
Right.
so um sometimes how you may look at things as like, oh, we're giving too much grace. I'm looking at it from a standpoint of I could really care less. Like I
But
couldn't care any less for how you actually feel. Like it does not move me.
does it only care? Do you only feel that way because it's not directly affecting you?
Nothing directly affects me unless I allow it to. Nothing.
Okay.
I don't care if here's how I feel about it, right? You could literally be standing in my face and call me every name in the book. It will not hurt my feelings.
Really?
No.
Why? Well, not hurt your feelings, but will
It won't move me. It won't hurt my feelings. It won't make me feel no type of way. Because at the end of the day, you feel however you feel because whatever perception you have, right? That don't have shit to do with me. I can't control that. So congratulations for how the fuck you. I mean, how you feel. I'm trying not to curse this year. That's my goal. But
Mm-hmm.
um,
An extension of 2024. Go ahead.
um, yeah. So I I feel like the only thing that's gonna make me kind of like is when it come to my boys.
Right.
Now somebody got something to say about my boys, I might have to knock you on your ass.
What? But you can't hold that grace for that.
No,
Why?
hell no.
Why?
Because
How is it?
kids are off limits. Because kids are the most innocent until they are no longer innocent. They are the most innocent bystander. Period.
But how do you know God is not putting that in
Uh-uh.
place for you to be
Uh-uh.
to even?
Yeah, that's one I gotta ignore.
What?
No. Because I just feel like you just don't play when it comes to your babies. Okay? Whether they're babies, toddlers,
Mhm.
kids, teenagers. No. I feel like if you can't there's no way that you can have a problem with my child. There's no reason for you to have a problem with my child. Why? Because my child does not fund their life.
Mhm.
They do not provide for themselves. They do not fend for themselves. Everything that my children have come from mommy and daddy.
Right.
And so if you have a problem with my child, really your issue is with me. So the second that you think you're going to speak on my child is the second I'm going to have to put you in your place. And it might hurt. That's just that.
So do you feel? So let me ask you: do you feel bad when you may make a gesture or say something about somebody else's kid, knowing that that's how you feel when people
I
talking
don't
about
talk
you?
about people's kids.
No, I'm not
I
saying
don't talk about people's kids. But if you allow, let me give an example. Because they're speaking ill about somebody's child, and then they're
speaking
speaking
facts.
about how your child
Okay,
behaves.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And so I'll definitely speak on the fact of some of the way somebody's child is behaving, because my question is, why is your child acting like that?
So you think that that's just a reflection of the parent if you say certain stuff
100%.
like that?
100%. Because let's just say your child is 8,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason your child believes that it's okay to throw footballs in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And not just at y'all house. They go everywhere and they do it. And there's never any correction of it. I'm gonna be like, well, why your child think it's okay to do X, Y, and Z, especially at my house?
Right.
It's one thing for them to do it at your house, that's y'all stuff. But at my house, why your child think that's like what is that?
When you
That's
think,
not even me speaking ill about the child. That's the child's behavior that I'm asking a question about.
but do you feel a certain type of way if they're like, well, that's what we do at our house? You know how people be like,
You
oh,
can
well.
go home. You can go home. Because if you're not teaching your children to have home training outside of your home,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to. One, you shouldn't even have kids, because that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you should never leave your home. If that's your choice, if you decide, well, this is what they do at home, stay home.
Okay.
Stay home. Ain't no reason for you to go nowhere, to nobody's house, even in public. Like, there's no reason for you to be out at a store with your child, because your child gonna do the same stuff they do at home in that grocery store. If they have tantrums at home, they gonna have tantrums in the grocery store.
That is true.
If they decide they gonna go and open up cookies at home when they know they ain't supposed to open, they probably gonna do that stuff at the store too. I'm just saying, like, I don't speak ill about people's kids, but I do talk about how people's kids behave, because that's how you're allowing them to behave.
True.
So it's really more me questioning you, like, well, why you letting your kid do that?
It's more a question
It's
to
more
them.
about, like, who's the parent?
Right.
Because I'm confused. So I don't think that I hold grace for
Mhm.
people, true enough, because I also think about the way God holds grace for me. But I'm not holding grace when it comes to my kids. I'm just not.
So you holding it to you, but could there ever be something that breaks that?
Breaks what? Me holding it, not holding it when it comes to my babies?
No, holding it for you.
No, because I don't care too much about people and their opinions. I've never have. I've never been that person. You can ask anybody that knows me. They'll be like, Quisha's not gonna. She don't care.
Mm.
She don't. Oh, you thought that was gonna make her? She's not gonna move. You're not gonna make her budge. She's not gonna curse you out, call you, flip you off, talk about you. She's not gonna do those things.
You've always been like that.
Always. And that was a lot of people's issue with me. Like, you can never get a reaction out of me. And then when you did get a reaction out of me, it was like, oh my gosh, she's so mean. Well, that's what you wanted. You wanted me to be that.
Why did that start, and when did that start?
Why did what start?
Why did, growing up, you be like, oh man, I'm about to knock this person the fuck out, or I'm pissed off because this person pissed me off. When did you actually be like, nobody can piss me off?
I've actually always been that way.
So you came out the womb like, and they smacked you in the back, and you was like, I don't care.
I mean, you got, okay, so like I'll say from like 5 to maybe 14 was probably the only time frame where you may get a reaction out of me. Right. Maybe.
Is that a different time frame in your life on why that was different?
I think because the way my older sisters treated me probably was just more of like me defending myself as opposed to like me feeling some type of way because somebody's messing with me. It's just like, y'all not gonna punk. Like, I'm not a punk, first of all. Right. And so I'd be damned if you punk me. I'm gonna show you that you can't punk me, but I'm not. It's not the reaction like I'm blown. I never blew up on anybody. And then, anything after 14 was really just my I don't give two fucks about nothing. Like, nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Then you still feel that way now?
Yes. As long as my babies ain't being harmed in the process of whatever the hell you feel or want to say or do, have fun. You don't try to put your hands on me or my husband, have fun. That's as far as I go. Your words don't mean they're your words. And again, people feel however they choose to feel. That don't have nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with our kids. You feel however you choose to feel. And congratulations for your feelings, because I'm not going to be the one that tell you that's not right. Have fun.
That's okay. That's totally different than how I thought you was going to say it on there.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you was going. There you go with that yawning.
I know.
Again.
I don't know why that always happens when we do this.
It happens. People have spoken up about that.
That went off.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Yes, I'm just making sure.
So this is my next question.
Okay.
Non-living. Listen.
I
am. Somebody that meant a lot to you. What was the biggest thing that you grabbed from them
while they were here?
And the reason why I asked this is because I feel like a lot of people really don't know what the lesson that was learned from that person until they're gone. I just recently found mine.
I would say, I mean, unless you want to go first, you can go first.
My grandma, quite naturally.
Yeah. She's like the only person.
Yes. I took my grandma for granted. Hear me out. Not in a situation of like, oh, that's my grandma, like she gonna always be here. I took what she did every single event or holiday. That's what I learned from her, that how much it means to celebrate things. Because hearing her on a few, like, we got 2 birthdays that's coming up, right? And this will be the first time, this will be the second time that she won't be singing happy birthday to him.
Mm.
And that was just such something that was something that she did no matter what it was. She called for 4th of July. She called for birthdays. She called for shit. It could be a holiday. What y'all doing today? Y'all cooking? Blah blah blah. You look for that. So it's like to what I gained from her is, yo, celebration. It's you always like I knew about it, but it's like damn, like that's something that I'm gonna miss from her. Her singing, and just making like, grandma, you know you can't sing no more. So what is something that you've
Well, how you? First of all, you didn't even let me try and respond to what you
oh
just
oh,
said.
my fault. Go ahead, go.
Um, is it that you? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little confused.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, because I feel like me and you, have always um been very celebratory. I
Right.
think that's how you say it.
Yeah. No, I'm
Um,
not saying yeah like I know how you say that
yeah,
because
yeah.
you know more words than me.
Um, and so like I guess the confusion is learning to celebrate.
No, not learning to celebrate, like appreciating her celebration with us. Like her always calling. I'ma miss that.
Yeah, but the question was, what did we learn from them?
Yeah, I just gave my little thing.
That's not the same thing,
I'm
though.
gonna cut that out though. But what you say?
What are you gonna cut out?
What you saying right now? I'm gonna cut that shit out. Cause you ain't gonna make me feel dumb on my question that I'm asking you.
How am I
I
making?
don't think you
How am I
understand,
making
Lala
you
Melvin.
Hold on.
This
Hold
is
on. Hold
you
on.
are the host and I am the co-host.
Hold on.
I asked you the questions. When you say go first to me, I don't want to sound like I'm not.
No, 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 no. All I'm
Go
asking,
ahead. Go ahead.
or I mean, all I'm saying is that you didn't answer the question properly.
Everybody on the radio that I did. Well, not the radio. Everybody on the podcast thought that I did. So you saying that I didn't answer it?
I'm sure that they would have that
Nope.
same question.
That's fine. They know how I work. They know how this thing goes.
Okay. Um,
No. All jokes aside, not learning about it, but just you go ahead. I'll
yeah,
come. I'll come.
basically what you said was more so what you miss
I'll
as
miss her.
opposed to what you learned.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm a miss
Okay.
that.
That celebration with
Yeah,
her.
because
Absolutely. I
that
mean,
makes you
we talked about that last year when she didn't call us on our birthdays. And we was like, "Hold up."
right.
And we called her. We was like, "You what happened?" And, by then she was losing memory and stuff. So,
Mhm.
um uh it's crazy because you sit back and when you ask that type of question, you think about all the people that you've lost that you were
Mhm.
close to.
Mhm.
And so many people, and that's so sad to say. Um it's like, how do you just pick one?
Yeah, you can pick a few.
Um mm, okay, so I'll start with I'll
Pop,
s-
pop.
I'll start with I don't know. I think I might mm, Granny.
Oh.
I feel like there was just something about she just possessed this strength about her. Like
Mhm.
she just had this strength. It was kind of uh like it was never like she put it out on the floor. Like she wasn't like, oh yeah, I can I'm this strong woman and I could do all these things. Like she wasn't like that. Oh, I'm independent. You know how girls now I'm independent. No, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that. It was just like there was this strength to her that was just so like in your face. And then when you learn that she raised as many kids as she raised, you kind of just be like,
Damn.
yeah. And I think her strength just kind of rubbed off on really a lot of the women in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that it's something that I've always said. The women in my family are very strong, and I think that that's where that strength comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that that is probably something for sure that I picked up,
Right.
and then also her name.
Oh, she was a Flora.
She is the Flora.
Oh, so your grandma is the
She
second
is
Flora,
Flora, and then Nana is the second Flora,
and
and
then
then
you're the
I
third
am
Flora.
the third Flora.
So when you
Yes.
have a daughter, you're gonna have a
If I
fourth.
had a daughter, her name would have been Flora. Somewhere. Middle name, first name, whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I killed that, huh? No, not really, because we got all.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, if I would have had a daughter, she would have been a Flora too.
So that's one.
And then my papa, and I've spoken about this before, just carrying yourself as a young woman. Then when he corrected me about my hair.
Right.
Yeah, that just how you carry yourself as a young woman, it started there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of continued as I got older and older. You know, you learn with experience and stuff. And so as you get older, you can only hope to mature more with the knowledge that you already have.
Right.
Um, so I would say those two
Those two.
probably. Um, yeah.
Do you think that you've spent enough time with them before they was gone?
I don't ever think that you can spend enough time with a person. Um, not somebody that you genuinely enjoy being around and spending time with.
Right.
I have moments with each one of them. I mean, and then also with others that have passed in my life. That stick out more than other moments or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think that when you lose somebody that you're that close to, you know, that dear to you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can ever actually spend enough time with them. I think that that's a false narrative.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Get it. I got it. This all because I be listening to my shows and stuff, and they be asking questions. I'm like, damn, like I wonder like how you would feel about these questions and
Yeah.
stuff. You go back 10 years in your life, right? What are some things that you didn't? I definitely be fucking up when I be trying to write stuff down. You go back 10 years in your life, and you can turn two situations around and have different outcomes. What would they be?
10 years?
10 years.
So I would be 23.
I know one of them situations we not here sitting doing the podcast.
Um.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
23. Two situations that I can change completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like they never happened, or
Well, you got the range of 10 years, not just 10 years. So it's a
I
range
thought
of
you were
10.
that's a lot though. That's a really broad.
Oh, well, I
Let's
mean,
just I think
10
going
year,
back 10 years
10 years.
specifically is better. Because it puts you in a more specific time period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at 23, I had two kids,
Mm-hmm.
engaged.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
I would not have said. Well, no, because that wasn't that. Really?
I know what you about to say.
I was 23, right?
Will you marry me? No, nigga.
How old was I when I had Nathan? Oh, I was 21 when
You was 21 when you had Nathan?
I had Nathan. I was 22.
22.
Yes, I was 22 when I had Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the year after I had Nathan. Um, honestly, I don't remember 23. I know I had 2 kids and I was engaged, and that's as far as that memory goes. I don't remember anything else.
So I'll say that you would have said no.
Well, you didn't propose to me until, I mean, that was before
10 years.
Nathan.
Okay, we'll go back 12 years. Shit. Go back to you 18. Boom, there you go.
Back to when I was 18, that is ridiculous.
What would you do different if you was 18?
Ran away from home.
You would have ran away from home like the circus?
I would have ran away from home to live the life that I knew I wanted to live. I think that's as far as that goes. That's the only thing. Yeah. I wouldn't have did anything that I did at 18. I would have ran away from home completely and went about my business.
The crazy thing is,
why you look at me like that?
Because, man, I just know how hard it was for you to get a job. So I would have been definitely.
I could have been a stripper.
Oh my God. I knew that was coming.
That was an option. I told if I hadn't met you, that would have been the thing to do. I'm not even fronting. Like, I don't care. Call me what you want. I don't. Again, y'all, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. People, listen. You do what you got to do.
Let me ask you a question. You think you would have done it for a long time, or you just would have did it? Like,
I would have did it to where I felt like I was comfortable enough to no longer have to do it.
Oh, you just to get in and get out.
It's a do what you got to do. It ain't about get in, get out, or
yeah. I think
I'm trying to live some lavish life. It's a do what you have to do for the time being.
Yeah, I should have been a stripper too.
No.
Thunder for down out there.
No. You wouldn't have had no.
Shit. You see them moves?
No. No.
You see them moves? Man. I would have been a bad man.
First of all, you could tell you almost 40.
The Mama Jamma.
And secondly, nobody wants to see that.
Shit. Now.
Nobody would have wanted to see it then.
Shit, I was cut. Yo, you an asshole for that one. Cut the what? No, don't yawn. Cut the what?
I'm so tired.
Why are you so tired? We gotta start doing this earlier.
I'm not really tired. I was just saying that to change the subject.
That's fucked up.
We got questions?
I didn't look up any of those questions this week because I didn't want to do it this week.
How many questions do you have?
I had let me go back to them. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. What was the lack of gratitude in the world? Do you feel like people aren't grateful for anything in the world?
That's the same question.
I know. Oh, this is actually from last week. This inviting people in your life. This is what you call them.
We can answer a couple from the thing.
Okay. Let me go to it.
I don't know why I be so tired.
I don't know. You be tired.
I'm growing my hair out again, y'all, because I'm tired of being bald. I'm tired of being a baldy. I've grown my hair out twice and cut it twice. Actually, I've cut it 3 times. And I'm tired of being a baldy. So, I'm growing my hair out. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, Melvins. Question for Lala Melvin. So, well, see, yeah, I don't get shit. How was it hard? Was it hard for you to switch from not having kids to motherhood and having 2 kids right off the back? How do they know that we had 2 kids right off the back?
Well, I didn't have to. Hold on. First, the fuck of all. Okay. Is that the rest? That's the whole question?
Yeah.
Okay. Respectfully, I didn't have 2 kids off the bat. That's crazy. And I always say I just feel like I was I was meant to be a mother. Like I feel like I was meant to be a mother and I was meant to be a wife, and so not it wasn't hard at
Mm.
all for me to um be a mom.
Really?
No, it wasn't at all. I mean, and then you got to think too, like, um, I have two, or our two youngest siblings are 10 years younger than me and 14 years
He's
younger than
14
me
younger than you?
because he's 21
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be 34. Yeah, 13 years younger than me. Yeah. So 10 years and 13 years younger than me. And so I was always like the other mommy figure
Mm-hmm.
um in our household. And then when my aunt had her kids, I also when they were
Wilcham and
yeah,
mm-hmm.
Melina and William, when they were really young, I
Wilcham.
babysat them also. Like
So you already had it in your blood.
yeah. No, I feel that's why I said I feel like I was meant to be a mom. I was meant to be a wife. So that transition of like not teenage, because I was how old? 20,
Mm-hmm.
21. Yeah, just yeah, 20 when I had um Chummy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
it
look,
was
now I got a question for you. Go
yes.
ahead. Um, Knowing that the life that you wanted to have, how were you expected to have kids knowing the life that you wanted to have?
Um, because the goal or the plan, I should say, was not to have kids at 21.
It was further down the line.
Yes.
So you was gonna live it up, be a gypsy, and then give up that life?
You don't have to give up that life to have children.
How
You
do you
don't have to give up any life to have children. I don't think so.
No?
No, there's a way to live every life and still be a mother, a good mom too, and a father, I believe.
Yeah, because you totally turned me.
Now, I do believe that you need stability.
Right.
So, would I have been so quick to just get up and go? Probably not. But I don't think that would have stopped me from still wanting to be in other places, if that makes sense.
So
Like,
you just would have been like moving around like how
I
people
wouldn't.
in the army and stuff are.
It probably would be like 2 years, 2 years,
2 years.
four maybe here. I
Like,
think.
Mom, my friends are gone again.
I mean, who says that they would even had friends? We've been here how long and they don't have any friends, and that's not because they are now in school. You got to think they did public school from kinder to fourth grade,
That's true. That's true.
and they had friends, and then very easily them friends became enemies. So
Right.
you know, I'm just saying. But no, it wasn't. Did she ask me how or was it hard?
Was it hard?
Yeah, no, it wasn't hard for me. Um, I just think that I was built for this life.
Mm.
um, yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. It wasn't hard. That's it.
Hmm. Uh, Ronald from Ohio.
Hey. Hey.
Ohio. Do you think choosing each other as relationship powerhouses was easy or was it hard?
Hard as hell, actually.
Really?
Um, when he says relationship powerhouses, I'm assuming that he means the fact that we are strong as a couple in the
I would
sense
think
of
so.
how we work together.
Right.
Um, but this, ooh, Ronald, this was a lot of years of work
Yes.
to be where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've always supported one another in whatever venture it was, right? And we've always contributed in one way or another
Right.
to those things. But there were still things that or habits that needed to be broken, and things that needed to be removed, whether it was characteristics and personality traits or mannerisms and behaviors or people, or just environments in general,
Right.
that had to be completely removed from us as people in our lives for us to now reach or to now be where we're at.
Right.
Um, because there, I mean, we've talked about it before about just the fact of like, there's been, there for me were moments where I was just like, I don't want to anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the willpower of not giving up.
Yeah, like I don't want to be a wife and a mom. Um,
And there was times where I was like, damn, I'm never going to be a good husband
right,
or a good dad,
right,
you know? And like there was even times where I was like, yo, I never wanted kids. So for me to have kids and want kids, there's probably a reason why I didn't want kids because I'm a horrible dad.
right.
So it's little things like that.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about I'm sorry, did
No,
I
you're
cut you
fine. No,
off?
no,
And I
no.
think the biggest thing about us, number one, thank you for recognizing that we are a powerhouse couple. That is an honor to think that way. But like she said, it's work. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
don't be like, oh shit, we perfect for each other because we're not.
we
You,
weren't.
we weren't. We had to work. We c- Let me take that back. We could have been.
We could have been.
We could have been because at the end of the day, a lot of our problems and a lot of our things that we went through were my fault. And were my fault because of how immature I was and how I wasn't ready and how one thing called self-esteem problems can change your life for the worse.
True.
So, yes, we could have been an amazing 100% on par
From the get go.
from the get go because we had the attributes of
But that
being
would
that
be
type.
too easy, right?
Right, 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 right.
That would be too easy.
But I do want to say that, yeah, it's just hard work plus patience, motivation.
Okay,
You
Nipsey.
know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying it's not it's crazy because people are like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like I want to be with this person and they need to have their shit together, or it's like it's not a sprint. It's literally a marathon that you gotta go and build and build your muscles and do all these things to make sure that you guys are in a good position.
Yeah.
So yes,
It
like I said,
was it was it
it's
was
work.
it was it wasn't hard choosing each other. It wasn't hard choosing each other, but it was very hard continuing to choose each
Right.
other.
I honestly think that was just all. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that was all God
Hmm.
on certain things to be like, you gonna do this. How are you gonna actually come back from this? Because this is your person.
um,
What the hell was that?
because we believe in everything happening for a reason.
Right.
And um I think understanding that everything happens for a reason
Right.
puts things into perspective when it does come to picking a partner. Now,
Mm,
I feel like
preach. Preach.
I feel like that can be taken
Both ways.
out of context.
Yes.
And so let me explain what I mean. Um Sometimes I feel like we have a partner and there are things that maybe one of us, like, for instance, he said a lot of the things that happened or we went through were because of him. They were his fault. And I feel like I was put into this situation because one, God knew that he did make us for each other, but two, he knew that I can handle it for that very reason.
Right.
And that because of who I already was, that I was the right person to then help him become who he needed to be.
You ever think about your mind being like, I want to run away and do this, and God was like, that's not going to end up. That's not going to pan out the way you think it is. So let me just throw this little nigga in your face.
No,
Really?
no. I feel like even if I had skipped town at 18, because I mean, and we've said this before to each other anyway. I don't know if we've ever said it on here, but how it wouldn't have mattered where we were and what we were doing.
We would
That
have met each other.
yeah,
That's true.
I mean, fate is fate,
That's
right?
true.
So I believe whatever you're destined to do, it'll come to you at
So
one
you,
point or another.
so you do believe in fate?
Sure.
Sure. It's a yes or no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the face of I don't believe in fate.
I'm learning to believe in fate. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
Really?
Yeah. Like I genuinely do believe that we were meant for each other,
Mhm.
right? So that's fate, right? Meeting each other is fate. Or us ending up at the same school, that's fate. For
Right.
us to then meet. Yeah, I mean yeah, so I have to believe in it, right?
Yeah.
Um but anyway, back to what I was saying. So he put us together because he knew that there were things that I possessed, characteristics and things like that I possess, morals and values that I hold, that would then turn you to the man that he needed you to be.
Right.
Because it's not about the man that I need you to be, right? Like that comes with you being the man that God needs you to be.
Right.
And so I feel like that's where that's kind of where that was just stomach.
Why you had to say that? Nobody heard that.
If I heard it, they
No,
heard
they
it.
did not hear that. You guys see, you always trying to put somebody on blast.
I wasn't.
You were though.
I wasn't.
You.
It was
your
so
stomach?
it was so loud.
No, I didn't hear it. You heard it.
Just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean anything.
Cut that.
You don't hear
cut
anything.
that. I would cut that out. You keep playing.
Maybe forget what I was saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was the point that I was making to that though?
No idea.
Because we were talking about how people could take that out of context. I don't know. I just feel like we're put into each other's lives for a very specific reason.
Right.
Um,
Is your glasses dirty on the left side?
right here. Yeah, I can't really see that, so I can see it, but it's not bothering me too badly.
It's just been bothering me the last 5 minutes.
But why you ain't asked to clean them then?
Because I
Some
just
partner
saw,
you are, right?
I thought.
Skirt.
Okay, go ahead.
Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, we're putting each other's lives for reasons. Like outside of me and him, those boys are another reason why we're together.
Right.
They have a purpose in life and we were meant to create them for their purpose.
Right.
And so I feel like it's you kind of just have to look at the things that you go through with the person that you go through those things with, in a matter of it's happening for a reason. That's what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then to take it a step further, kind of analyze the situation. Don't overanalyze, because I feel like sometimes when we overanalyze, we kind of come up with things that aren't really there.
Hmm.
So just kind of analyze the situation of like, okay, but what could be the reason why? Why would you do this to me?
Right, right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? And not in a literal way, but like, what am I supposed to learn from this? What can I teach this person from this? And if first of all, the real question is that person to you, do you even feel that strong enough about that person to even want to go through those things with that person?
You know, it's crazy that you saying that, and I would say like over the past year, I used to ask myself.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You watch. She watching Wicked every damn day, twice a day. Wicked.
I am not.
Gravity.
You
My bad.
stepped
My
on
bad.
them.
What the what the hell?
What the frick?
What the freak? Well, number one, what the heck was I thinking?
When what?
Anything that I did that was negative, and what was the purpose of me? What did I have to learn for those mistakes?
I think a lot of the reasons why you did things
Oh,
that you did.
I was going to answer the
Oh.
question. But go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh.
I want to hear yours.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reasons why you did the things that you did was because from the beginning of understanding in your life when it came to your parents, they placed a fear in you that was so deeply rooted that it was very hard for you to cut loose of those roots.
Right.
And
Damn, you went a little deeper than me, but I'll go ahead.
and because of those, because you had those ties to them in that way, it caused you, like I said, it caused you just to do the things that you did.
Mm-hmm.
You were, it was just it was like a what is it, what's the word, you were just unable to unlatch yourself from what misery already looked like.
See, for me, what I thought was that also the cut loose thing, but for a very long time, even before you, I never took accountability of anything.
Right.
And I think things kept happening and I kept doing things. I'm not like saying it's okay, but I think that was a test of God to say, are you going to be accountable for this?
Yeah.
I always made excuses for why I did certain things. Oh, I just was seeing, or
100%.
and then I think when it finally snapped me, killed me, you know what I mean? That was the first time I've ever took accountability of anything.
That's the first time you ever took accountability, but the first time anybody ever held you accountable was me.
Right. No.
Right.
Hands down.
Yeah, and he couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And I used to tell him all the time, "Oh, you think I'm supposed to be like your mom and your grandma, and I'm supposed to hold your hand, and you just supposed to do whatever the hell you want to do, and ain't no repercussions and no consequences behind it? No, your problem." I used to tell him all the time, "Your problem is mommy and grandma babied you until you up until this point, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna be one that babies you."
You know, grandma up there talking shit right now.
No, she not, because she know it's true. She know it's true. He was literally babied. Nobody ever tell him he was trash at something. Nobody ever told him no. Nobody ever told him he couldn't do this, or maybe try doing things that, like, it was to the point where there would be times where I would be filming like a makeup video. I don't know if we ever told you guys this.
Yeah, she does makeup. You can go ahead and follow her at
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I used to film YouTube videos or whatever. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, he got to the point where he was working so often that I felt like, okay, I'm just gonna do it myself because I can't keep waiting on him to do these videos.
Right.
And I would set the camera up, my lights and everything, and I would have it looking a certain type of way. And then he'd get an off day and he'd be like, "Oh, you want to film?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." And he would set the camera up and he would set the lights up, and then I'd be there and be like, "That doesn't look right. I don't like how that looks." And then he would argue with me about the way that it looks. It's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to do this. It's supposed. The book says, and I was like, "Okay, so fuck the book." Like, I'm looking at it and I'm telling you,
It
it
doesn't
don't
look
look
right.
right.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing. Like, he was so, I told him, "You're so by the book. Like, find another way." Like,
Mhm.
it's not just because the book tells you that this is how you're supposed to do something doesn't mean that there's not another way to do it. And that was something that I had learned from my dad. Like, there's always another way. It's never just one way to do something. There's always another way and another way and another way.
You know, it's crazy that you're saying that because that's how I preach to people when they ask, "How do I do certain things?" I'm like, "There's always multiple
Now,
ways.
that's so
How do you
funny.
program?" The book says this. I'd be like, "There's always 45 different ways to program this
That's
shit.
funny.
There's 45 different ways to film this.
That's so funny.
You don't have to export it that way. You can. There's 65 different ways. Here's
That's
4.
actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, like anything that happens,
That was a big thing between
right?
us. Like,
And
huge.
you know who I have to constantly be like, that's not the only way. Sean.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'd be like, "Well, I read the manual." And I'd be like, "Dude, like, fuck that manual."
Yeah, the manual is literally telling you because it's the manual.
Yeah, I'm like, "You ain't gotta do it that way. Do that shit the way
Right.
it works. Like, if
Like,
it
use
works
your,
this way."
I don't know. I just always looked at life. Again, I got that from my dad. So
Mhm.
it was like growing up and then him always saying that in my head, it would be like, okay, how else can I do this?
Right.
Because this is like troubleshooting. This
Right.
ain't working.
This ain't working.
How can
That's
I need another way.
That's why I will write a code in a heartbeat
Yeah.
because this ain't working.
Yeah.
And you tell me that this is supposed to work, and I'm letting you know this ain't work. There's another way.
Right.
I need to figure out what's the other way.
Yeah.
Hello, NVIDIA. What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Calling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So to answer that question, it wasn't hard choosing him because I've literally loved him since day one. It was continuing to choose him, even though all the flaws that came with him.
And I don't even have to say anything because choosing her was.
And
Yeah. It's
and
not.
and I feel like too, like I said, we were, when you make that hard decision is because you know and you understand that there's a reason why these things are happening. Now, I'm not saying that somebody cheats on you 15 times is a lesson to be learned. Sometimes people are just assholes and you
Mhm.
got to learn to move on, because sometimes that could be your lesson. Learning to move on,
Right.
learning to let go of people that
Know
are
your
using you,
worth.
knowing your worth.
Know
Right.
your
So
worth.
you got to pay attention to
Knowing your worth.
everything, all the signs. It's not something so simple and so easy as, oh yeah, that's my person and we're supposed to be together and that's the reason I fight for this and that's the reason why I choose this person. Sometimes the lesson is you have to learn about you and what you're willing to deal with, what you're willing to put up with, how much you love yourself. Sometimes you don't love yourself, which is why we do things that we should not be doing. So I think all of those things kind of contribute to that. But choosing him isn't hard, or choosing him wasn't hard, but choosing to stay was difficult.
True.
For sure. Thanks, Ronald.
All right. Lala Melvin.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Go ahead.
Lala Melvin. When you get mad at him, what do you do? I get mad at my husband all the time, and I don't know how to blow off steam.
You know,
That's the last question, too. We're done.
Okay. So
I need to hear this because I never know when you mad at me. Yes, I do. Disclaimer: we don't argue. We
No.
don't argue.
Well, okay. See, we gotta.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is almost 15 years
Right.
of relationship. And I would say for the most part, I've remained the same.
The same, yeah.
When it comes to when I'm upset about something. I would say back in the day, like the first 10 years, maybe
Damn.
8 years, maybe
I was 10
10.
because I know what you about to say.
I would kind of just
Shut the
shut down.
fuck down.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
completely just shut down. Like don't talk to me. I'm not
I
talking
would
to
say,
you.
how long we been together?
15 years.
12 years.
First 12. Yeah.
What year are we in?
No, I would say 10.
I would say 12.
No, 10.
12.
10.
What?
It's been 10
So when is 10?
because you got to think when we were in Fox Hair, right? That was 5 years ago. Yeah. Then I was like writing you. I wouldn't hold it in, or
Oh,
maybe
you're
I wouldn't
right.
say anything at the
You're
moment
right. But you'll
when
hold
I
it.
would be
Yeah.
upset, but I would definitely maybe wait a few hours
Until
or
I'm
a
at
day
work,
or
and
so
then you text.
until
Yes.
we're not in the same space, and then I would kind of have a moment to just really like think about things, and then yeah, so like the first 10 years I just shut down. Like I don't have nothing to say, like I don't want to interact.
Yeah, you're right.
And then it went from that to like I'll try and have a conversation with him. I mean, shit. And even before that, I would try to have a conversation with him and everything because he wasn't in a
The best. I wasn't in the mental
yeah. So
state.
everything was like he felt like I was coming at him, or
I was
I was
trained to think that
talking.
anybody that have any. Did I just cut you off?
You did, but it's okay.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Uh, um. Yeah. So he wasn't in the right space to receive any type of criticism
Right.
or negative words, if you will. And so, anytime I was upset about something, he kind of like had this habit of changing it and making it all about him. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's where my like shutdown would come in at. And then it went from that to okay, I'm upset about something to I'm gonna write him or I'm gonna text him or go in my notes and I'll write along
Mm-hmm.
whatever and send it to him, let him read it. Even then, he got better at accepting what was being said or receiving what was being said, but I wouldn't necessarily say he was accepting what was said.
Right.
Um, and
I would say 2 years. I haven't been receiving it.
huh?
I would say 2 years.
That what?
The last 2 years.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just gonna sit over here.
And so during that time of like texting him and things like that, him receiving but not accepting, I kind of would just keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
I would never like I'm not really a person to get mad, right? Like you really got to push me to a point of anger. I don't get mad. I don't know what that is. Like I don't even can you even recall a time where I was like you knew I was I feel like there's a difference in being upset and then being mad at somebody.
Nah, I don't remember. I don't recall any time of you being mad. I just know you was upset.
Yeah. There was one time that I remember him um I had to tell him, do you remember when you were picking at me and you kept going and kept going and I told you you keep fucking playing and I'm gonna hurt your fucking feelings.
Were
And
we
then
in
you left me
Foxhair?
alone. No, it was on Lemon
In the
Gems.
gyms?
Yeah.
Probably.
It was years ago. But yeah, I think that was the only time that I was ever actually mad. And so I don't getting mad doesn't really exist for me. So I would say being upset with him, now I remove myself in a way of
You still get upset with me?
there's times where you piss me off, absolutely. And you piss me off, it'd be like
Little
it's
stuff.
not piss me off, it's more like I'm annoyed because I don't understand like what?
What? What? Like what the fuck?
Like what? And so
What is that?
if I don't confront it, well, here's what I do now. If I do get to like I'm just so like I don't like you just is some I don't get it. It's not making sense to me right now. I confront it right there in that moment. I'm not waiting. I don't give a shit if you're asleep. I'm gonna wake you up because I feel
Right.
like my emotions, my feelings right now are more important than you sleeping. That's how I feel. And y'all may be like, "Oh my God, that's so effed up." It may be.
Mm-hmm.
It very well may be. But would you rather me wake you up when I first get upset or let that shit simmer? And then by the time you wake up, now I'm heated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I've waken up to some eerie rooms where I'm like, I know I can feel the tension in this room.
And that's a lot of my energy I give off not in the best mood.
Yeah.
And so
I know when you don't have a good dream, I'll be like,
I confront.
I whooped your ass in my dream. I was like, what?
First of all,
that ain't even me.
I confront whatever issue I have with him in that very moment of the issue.
Right.
And I don't care if it hurts his feelings, and I don't care if it's what somebody may deem as negative, because I feel like us getting out those things at the end of every conversation, I don't care if it's, there's been times when the boys would come in the room and they're like, "Why are y'all arguing?" We're like, "We're not arguing. It's just a very passionate discussion."
Right.
Like and that's exactly what it be. It's
honestly, that's how we started this podcast, having these discussions.
Very, very, very passionate conversations. That's literally all that it is. And I'm just, stop. I saw you.
You saw me do what?
Try to touch my hand.
I guess.
Very passionate conversations, and that's all that it is. And at the end of it, doesn't matter what the situation is. There has recently, anyway, in the last, I want to say 5 years, we have not gone to bed or gone the next 5 minutes, let alone without us laughing at the end of it all. Because it gets, I don't know, I just feel like there's no reason to be mad at him, because I'm not ever going to hold something to him that long. You know what I mean? Like, it happened. We either talked about it or we didn't talk about it at that moment, but we talked about it later, figured it out, and now we're laughing.
Right, that's true.
You know, and I feel like if you can't
do that,
I don't know, I feel like to get mad at somebody would also mean that you can't talk to somebody.
That's true.
You know, to be mad at someone, to me, symbolizes that there's no understanding at some point on either side. Because to say like, I don't know what to do and I'm mad at my husband, talk to your husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but that's hard for some people.
And
that's hard for some people.
But that's what I'm saying. Why are you married to somebody that it's hard to have a conversation with? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why are you married to somebody that's hard to have a conversation with? Why are you married with somebody that's hard to have sex with? Why are you married with somebody that's hard to have a good time with?
Yeah.
Why are you even with this person? Because it's hard to do anything with this person. We don't even watch the same TV shows. We don't even eat the same food. We don't even talk the same language. Why are we together?
I feel like if it can't, we had difficult moments,
right,
where it would be, I wouldn't even say it was hard to have a conversation or it was difficult to talk to you. It was just like he just didn't get it.
Right.
He just couldn't understand where I was coming from, but also because what he was trained to believe was that if somebody has something negative to say or you're taking it in a negative way, then they don't actually care about you.
Right.
Or they coming for you, or they feel some type of way about you or towards you. And it's like, no, like I'm talking to you for the exact opposite.
Right.
I want to have this conversation with you because I care about you. There's things that I'm seeing and noticing that you're doing and saying that are not okay, whether it's to me or outside in the world. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't hard to talk to him and it wasn't difficult to talk to him. It was just like he just didn't get it. So I had to figure out ways to get through to him, because it wasn't like, oh, okay, well, if I tell him this, then he just boom. It's just
gone. Yeah.
No, it was something it was constant conversation. Okay, he still don't get it. Okay, how else can I explain it so that he can understand what I'm talking about?
Right.
But if you can't even do that, I just feel like
That's a lost cause.
There's a bigger issue at hand.
Right.
There's no understanding. There's no
That conversation is different.
yeah. It's that's why you get mad, is because you know that there will be no change. Whether it's in his actions or in his mannerisms and behaviors, that doesn't matter what I say or what I do, he's not going to change.
Right.
Or he's always going to feel the way he feels. And I think that that's unfair because there's no understanding on either side. Well, on one side, if you will, when it comes to like how you feel.
That's true.
So I can't necessarily say.
You just got to say you can't relate.
No, it's not that I don't want to say that I can't relate, but I think that there's, I think you don't like you. I don't know what to do. I think sometimes, and I'm not necessarily saying that this is your situation, but sometimes the approach is off. Sometimes the relationship is off, and what I mean by that is sometimes we believe that our relationships are something that they are not.
Mm-hmm.
And I know him, and I know how he's going to react to certain things, and so there's a way that I have to bring things to him. And I mean he'd be like, "Don't take this the wrong way." I'd be like, "Please, I don't take nothing the wrong way."
Right.
I'm
But
not. I don't fall that deep into that.
But it's also there's you've known me for 14, 15 years that even when you say certain stuff to me now, you're getting a different response than how it was 3 years ago.
And that's why I was saying changed behaviors and mannerisms matter.
Which
and
is why I'd be
if
like,
they're not willing to have that conversation or acknowledge or even take accountability for the things that maybe you are feeling, then there's just no understanding, and it probably won't ever be. And that's something that needs to be thought about.
right.
Can a conversation or a few conversations or several conversations change
The outcome.
him or you or both of you, or just the scenario or the outcome? Is there going to be any change
Right.
with conversation? Or because what are you going to do? You're going to get mad and you're going to storm off. You're going to get mad and you're going to go to your room. You're going to get mad and you're going to throw things. You're going to get mad. Like, what transpires from being mad?
Right.
Whether it be on your end or his. Does he leave the house when he gets mad and go sit and drink? Or does he go to his homeboy's house? Do you go to your girlfriend's house and you vent to your girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? Like, after you do that, then what? Do you guys come back together and have a conversation? What transpires from being mad? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing good comes from that. And so it's just like, why not take a few minutes? Maybe, separate, but stay in the same house.
Mm-hmm.
Separate. You go to your room for an hour, let him chill and do whatever he do for an hour, and then maybe come back with a different approach than what it was before. And if that doesn't work, if he still is, doing whatever he's doing, then I'm not going to tell you to leave your marriage, but maybe he's the problem.
Right. Well,
That's just how I feel.
Well, you know what the problem is? Time to leave.
You know what? I'm tired of your shit. I'm not supposed to be cursing. I'm tired of your snap.
Why are you tired of my snap?
Because it's time to leave.
No, it's time to...
You're not nice.
We gotta go.
That's why your shirt is up. Everybody see your jiggle on the side.
You serious? It's been like that the whole time?
It's been like that for a minute.
Oh, I guess. They're going to see that jiggle.
They're going to see your dad bod.
Oh, that's fine. Only you can prevent forest fires. Oh man, that's funny.
See, this is how our mads end.
Mm-hmm.
This is an example. I mean, we weren't mad at each other just now, but this is how when we are upset with one another or something has happened, and
I made you mad.
No,
I get what you said. I know.
We're not mad at each other, but I'm saying like we be laughing like this, like nothing ever happened.
Nope.
Because
What's the point?
Nothing truly happens, honestly.
We
When you
just
really sit back and you talk about things and you figure them out together, nothing ever actually is really going on.
hmm
When you really get to the root of it, nothing is actually going on. It's just the devil trying to disrupt what could be a happy house.
right,
And the second that you allow it is the second that it all goes to
right.
So,
So
thank y'all for the questions.
thank y'all for the questions. I love that part.
Daddy, thank you for the questions.
Oh yeah, I just be trying to figure out the best way to word it.
I know I be having questions, but my questions can't wait. I be too.
That's your problem.
I be too excited to talk to you.
Well, that's why we need to record every day then.
Well, if that we need cameras in the room because I be in the shower and I get the shower like, babe, what you think about?
Just that's why those be the ones that we don't need to do record video. We could just throw them on and do it right then and there.
See, that takes too long though.
It's for you.
Hold your question, La. You be like, wait, don't ask me, and I'm like, no, I have to. Like, I need.
Why are you doing that? I'm setting it up. So when you put your
Yeah,
lotion
but see,
on,
by the time I'm done putting lotion and stuff on, question's gone. I forgot it. See, and that's the problem. I don't write my questions down or nothing like that, like how you do. So when I be having a question, I be like, ooh, and wait. And then I be like, dang, what was my question?
just like the question I asked you yesterday,
What you asked me?
the whole question.
The whole question? What you mean just like the question? Oh, because you couldn't wait to
I
ask.
couldn't wait to ask.
Exactly.
I just
Exactly.
was like, I got a question.
It'd be good questions. And you'd be like, dang, I just want to talk right now. I don't really want to put on headphones and turn on a mic.
And that's why I can't be. That's why we gotta have our compound. We just walk right in the room and do it. Click.
Yeah, that still take a time.
Uh-huh.
I like to just get the question out there right now.
I feel you.
Daddy, what you think about this? Hey, if that happened, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
So
You're so fine.
anyway, thank y'all for the questions.
Thank you.
I like doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all can ask him questions too, right?
I've told you I'm the co-host.
I understand,
They not
but
asking me
my
questions.
co-host, my husband,
Listen,
the love of my life, still has an opinion too.
I'm just
So
gonna be asking.
y'all don't have to. It's not my show.
It
it's
is.
ours.
It's hypothetically
No, it's
live.
not. It's Talk That with the Melvins.
Melvins.
We're
We gotta
both
change
Melvins.
it. Melvins.
So therefore,
You're more interesting than me.
That's fine, but that doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion or that you don't have a mind.
I do. That's why I chime in when I can.
But what I'm saying is they can still ask you questions also. It doesn't have to always be geared towards me.
All right, y'all. Y'all send me some questions too. All right. If y'all want to.
Don't say it like you're incapable of answering questions.
I would answer the hell out of a question, but they're not answering me a question. They're answering you questions.
Asking me questions.
They're ask you questions.
Y'all just listen to
Talk that shit
with the Melvins.
We out this thing.
Bye.
Peace out.